Okay, and with that, it's time for our demo. I will be using, just like last time, an up-to-date Windows 10 virtual machine, which should be on screen now for all of you. This machine is up-to-date. All latest updates are installed. No programs have been installed except for what's necessary. And as you can see on screen, we have a few problems. Well, PUPs. If you look at the program that's in front now, My PC Repair 2018, you might be scared that may be 302 potentially unwanted items found. That's scary when you run this and you don't know much about computers. You may think, oh no, I need to fix all of this because, well, my computer has a lot of problems. Except it's not entirely that bad. First of all, let's look at the program interface and what might determine us to think this is a PUP and not real. And let's just start with the name, My PC Repair 2018. That sounds just too good to be true. There's no company name involved. My PC Repair is just a very, very generic name. And if you are at all familiar with this type of PUP, you will know there are a lot of similar programs that use the same interface but have a different name, and they're all as generic. Then let's see. Attention, 302 potentially unwanted items found. This is meant to scare you into fixing. So let's just try to do that. Let's start repair. Unfortunately, no repair is starting. Instead, we can buy stuff and we get a really good deal. Apparently, we get even a free antivirus. And let's just be clear here: that's a legitimate antivirus, not a fake one. So we get it for free. That's amazing. You can immediately put in your credit card details and you're all set. Of course, we're not going to do that, but I just wanted to show you that the step from scare to buy is very quickly made in this PUP. Okay, then let's see. We already determined this is scareware. Now let's see, they even have a PUP detection. Isn't that nice? It's too bad they don't detect their own program. But we can also maybe see some of the problems they found. They have enhanced system performance, a startup and install and user items. I'm interested in that. Startup and install, that sounds like something we may want to see. So let's click on it. Let's see if we can get any results that remove programs. I really want to see what it found there. Except, well, any of you who have worked with the registry and know about the uninstaller entries will know that this is not related at all to any uninstaller entries. These are just some objects listed without any indication why they might be bad. I have not checked them out. Probably if you would remove them, nothing would happen. It is possible these are leftovers from programs that were installed and no longer are. I don't know. But I do know one thing. Removing these entries listed here will not affect in any way system performance because they don't do anything. They occupy virtually no space. There is no way these entries can be responsible for any computer problems, which this virtual machine doesn't have. Okay, so this program is, determined PUP, and we can just minimize it and look at what else we have. That's something called, My PC Repair is still running in the background. That's great. We have driver updater, an ultimate driver booster. Well, first of all, no matter how legitimate a driver updater is, you can always find drivers on the manufacturer's website from the hardware you are looking for drivers for. So I would recommend always to use that. But okay, even say we want to see if this is legitimate. Again, you see already the big red scare bar. 3 out-of-date drivers found. I want to know what they are. Communication supports, a standard PS2 keyboard, and a PCI bus. All of these, well, let's just say about this one, I don't have a PS2 keyboard attached to this computer, or virtual or host at all. Communication support and PCI bus are related to the motherboard. I do know what I have installed. Let's see what they recommend. I have an outdated driver from Microsoft. They recommend a new driver from LG Electronics. It so happens I do not own any piece of equipment, hardware, device from LG. So I highly doubt this is accurate, and if they do offer this driver, it won't make my computer behave better. Let's check this one as well. Again, I don't own anything from that company. I don't even have a PS2 keyboard attached. Then the PCI bus, and here there's even funnier thing going on. They recommend a driver from AMD, even though I have an Intel motherboard. So I'm not going to trust any of these data. What's more, I really want you to look at this part. Using Microsoft technology, they use it as some sort of stamp. Using Microsoft technology, I can use it as well. I'm using Windows. I'm using Microsoft technology. If you develop a program that runs on Windows, you're using Microsoft technology. That does not say anything at all about how good your product is, even though it is used as such here. Let's again try to activate. Thank you for choosing. Yes, well, purchase now. We're not going to do that, but again, we can get McAfee antivirus free. It's nice to notice here you see a lot of logos, winner of 5-star awards. Nothing at all can be clicked. PC World, the Daily, the Washington Post, they all seem to have reviews or quotes. I can't click anything. The only thing I can click here is buy now, because that's what they want you to do. Buy a program that is absolutely worthless, you don't need, and displays information that, well, at the very best is very, very questionable. So we're going to close there's one thing I want to show you here. And that's about the McAfee antivirus offer. So that will be included in your price here. Except when I first encountered this PUP some months ago, it looked a bit different, and I had an old screen, so the quality isn't that good, but I want to share this with you. Where do I have my screenshot? It's here. I will zoom it a bit so you all can see what it says here. First month free, 11 additional payments of $4.99 every month. What they offer is the normal McAfee trial. That's a 30-day trial that almost any legitimate antivirus will offer you, including MCSoft. And so they don't offer anything free at all. They removed it recently because probably people didn't fall for their sales tactics anymore. Okay, these two programs are clearly PUPs and need to be removed. No, I really want to close it. Before doing that, I want to give you a real quick look at an autorun results. I'm not going into what autoruns does, how to use it to remove it, except for one small example. If you want more information about that, please see our previous webinar recording. As you can see, Driver Updater has a load point under the task scheduler, and it might be nice to see what exactly it does there. So we're going to open the task scheduler. Oh, Let's keep that maximized. We're opening the library, and you can see driver updater here. It has a trigger at logon of any user. That means if any user logs on to this machine, it will start a scan automatically. You can see the details here, conditions, actions. It will start up, the action is it starts a program. It will do the startup show, whatever that is. It can be much good. And at this point, you could just delete this task. It is not necessary, which I'll show you, because it will just be uninstalled correctly. You could even disable the task here. You could run it from here, for example. There are plenty of things that you could do, and it's interesting to see because it gives a good idea of what exactly these programs do through these tasks and what their possibilities are. They can also set it here to run every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes. And we're closing this now. At this point, I could use autoruns to disable all the load points, then go after all the files and folders, and then see if anything is left. But I really want to demonstrate how well the uninstaller for an obviously questionable program may work. And to do that, I'm just going to bring up the run box by hitting the Windows key plus R. It already has the shortcut here, appwiz.cpl. This will work on any version of Windows and will bring up the program features list. So what have we installed? We have 7-zip, that's legitimate. We have driver updater, we already know that's not. MSoft anti-malware, Google Chrome, Hashtag, Java, Microsoft OneDrive, Mozilla Firefox, MyPC Repair Hello, Python, Sublime Text, VMware, VT Hashtag. There's no other PUP present here. There are only 2, and we can just uninstall these. And again, this may seem really, really obvious, but I'm showing this because it happens so often that people do not realize they can get rid of a lot of PUPs this way, and they can save themselves a lot of headache doing this. Okay, look, we can get 75% off deal on our driver updater now. $4.99 buy now, and it's changed to $7.49. This is not correct. I don't want this. I'm going to uninstall it. I mean, if they even cheat on their own offers, that's too bad. No, I want to uninstall it. Note how big the buy button is and how small the no, I want to uninstall it option is. I want to delete any associated file. And again, they're really sad to see me go. They give me another offer. No, I really don't want it. Okay, let's do the same for my PC repair. There we go. Yes, I'm really sure. It was removed. As you can see, the shortcuts are gone. This one is not a shortcut, it's the installer, which I will show you a bit later because it illustrates how you end up with 2 PUPs in one installer. Okay, this list is now clean. We can quickly check if autoruns still shows the load points or not. Let's scroll down. Let's wait it to finish. And even though this is obviously a PUP, their uninstaller worked perfectly well. There is no malware left in autoruns visible. So then it's time to check the programs we usually use to see if there are any problems left. Let's start with Mozilla Firefox. Okay, that's Start Virus Total, which is my homepage. That's great. Let's see if other sites work as well. Okay, here we have a problem. If you have read the blog article, you will recognize this as the full tab extension, which takes over your new tab window and search results. I don't want this. Now, for manual removal on that one, I really recommend you to read our blog article, because there is a lot of reading involved. I can bring up the articles found on Google searches, but that would mean we would just spend half an hour all reading. That's not really useful. So I'm going to remove this a normal way. If you want to know how to do this manually, just read the blog article. And if you have questions about that, of course, you can ask them here or send an email to support@untitled.com. Okay, I'm going to disable and remove this. That went without any problem. Let's see if it works now. Yes. Okay, for Firefox, that worked. Let's see if Chrome also is clean. Okay, I don't know what's happening here, but something that's called t.yuan.com is trying to load. And that's not my homepage. My homepage is Virus Total. So we can check the settings. Let's see if we find anything here. We see full tab, but full tab is not responsible for this, because otherwise it would have done the same in Firefox. That's my default browser. Open on startup. Open a specific set of pages, Virus Total. So it's obviously not opening Virus Total, so something else must be going on. And the fact that only this browser is affected, but not Firefox, means that the problem is located somewhere in Chrome or its settings. Also, the site can be reached. Obviously, we have an internet connection. Otherwise, if you are not sure at this point, you would also check if the computer has a working internet connection. You can do that by using a different browser. You can do it by trying to send yourself an email. You can do it by pinging using the command line. There are a number of options. You can check if other devices on the same network have an internet connection, and so on. You can of course run the troubleshooter if you're not sure, but in this case there's no question about it. We have an internet connection, we just have a problem. So then the first thing we can do is, let's see if we can open Chrome from its executable and not a shortcut, because this is a taskbar shortcut. So let's see, we're going to the Chrome application, chrome.exe. I'm going to double click this. By doing this, I'm just making sure I'm not using any shortcut, because shortcuts can be infected and they are frequently affected by PUPs. Okay, and now we have a different problem. We have new tab here. No, I want to restore my settings. Let's see. Okay, I'm now having the normal Google page. I want to see if now that I start Chrome again. So Chrome detected that an extension was managing my new tab or homepage. And it asked the user if they wanted to keep it that way. It's really good to see that browsers, because Firefox can do the same, that browsers are really keeping up with tracking this type of PUP activity and making users aware of it. Okay, this is great. Chrome has reset my settings. It does not want to load Virus Total yet. But anyway, it behaves differently from the shortcut. So I'm expecting the problem to be there. This is set correctly. I'm going to check if our shortcut here has been affected. You can just do that by right-clicking the shortcut, right-clicking Google Chrome, and selecting properties. And we have here the shortcut properties. And we have a target file, which loads something koala.com. And that probably redirects to our file here to check if this is the cause, because this URL is something I don't want to see here. I'm highlighting and deleting it. Of course, make sure you don't break the target path here, because that will break your shortcut and it won't launch. Starts in and the other entries here are not affected. So we're going to apply. Okay. Closing Chrome at all. All instances of Chrome have been closed, and we're trying to launch a shortcut again. And as you can see, VirusTotal loads just fine this time now, just as it should be. Which means that our programs are now performing fine as well. Of course, a normal computer would have a lot more programs here. Just to keep this simple, I've only checked the browsers here, because this is a demo and we don't want to make it overly complicated. At this point, we can just run a scan to see if everything is really taken care of. As you can see, I have no protection because I didn't want the scanner to detect any of the PUPs in this demo. I'm going to make sure it's up to date. And during the scan, I also want to quickly show you the installer we have still on screen in the bottom left corner. Okay, going to do a malware scan, and while that's running, let's see what happens when you run this. This is the My PC Repair 2018 installer as downloaded from the internet. You can download this type of installers, for example, when you're surfing and you see an ad, solve all your computer problems in one click, or solve any stability issues in one click, or solve your slow PC problems by clicking here. And when you do that, you get a download to this type of file. I'm going to run it. And it says, welcome to the My PC Repair 2018 setup wizard. You have license agreement, you have terms of use, privacy policy. It looks great. Then look, this is a classic PUP screen, installer screen. A lot of installers you find on download portals or from ads contain this type of offer. And why do they include this type of offer? It's very simple, because these offers bring them money. In this case, Driver Updater and My PC Repair 2018 belong to the same developer or company. I have no idea who's behind them. But the goal of these people is to earn money. And they earn money by scaring you into purchasing their PUP. So if you already install My PC Repair 2018, they try to scare you or try to trick you into downloading Driver Updater as well, and to purchase both products, because that will give them more money. In case of more generic installers that offer, for example, you're looking for a program, you Google it, you click the first hit, and it's download portal, and that download portal offers you an installer that also has some free offers for other third-party software. That download portal will earn money for any offer you install, even if you uninstall these programs later on. And if you think it's a few cents, no, that can actually be as much as $2 per installation, which is a lot, because if you trick 100 people into installing a product, your revenue is $200. If you trick 1,000, it's 2,000, and you don't have to do anything for it except for distributing a few free programs in your installers. Okay, so this, I'm not going to install this again. We already had it. Just going to minimize it, because otherwise it will nag me. as you can see, the only object found was our installer. Nothing else is found. And because I know this VM, I can tell you the rest of it is clean. And we can just quarantine it. And that's the end of the removal. I'm not going to quarantine this yet because it's running. I could close it. It won't want to. That will require a reboot because the object is still running. As you can see, some detections cannot be removed. The computer restart is required. I'm sure you all know what a computer restart is, and I'm not going to show that. So that was it for our demo today.